$100,000 bail for the man charged in a Racine toddler's death.
Jordan Keith is the boyfriend of the child's mother, and today he was in court. Blake is in the newsroom with this story. Blake, prosecutors charged Keith with reckless homicide just today.
Yeah, guys, investigators say Keith lived with his girlfriend and her 22-month-old son. Prosecutors say Jordiel Ramirez-Rodriguez suffered a traumatic brain injury, had bruises on his body and a cut to his lung, adding Jordiel's mom eventually admitting she left her son at home with Jordan Keith while she went to the store. According to the criminal complaint, when she returned home, Keith came into the living room holding Jordiel, and Jordiel was unresponsive.
There was an approximate 22-minute window of time when the 22-month-old baby JRR was specifically with the defendant inside of the residence when the baby's injuries were sustained. The defendant lied to law enforcement multiple times about what had occurred. Both the defendant and the baby's mother admitted to discussing their stories on the drive to the hospital.
Now, Keith remains in jail on a $100,000 bond.
All right, Blake, thank you very much. About a dozen people cannot return home after flames ripped through their apartment building.
Investigators believe the fire started on a balcony at the Parkside at Estabrook Apartments, It's on Milwaukee's Glendale border, right near Hampton and Lydell Avenues. Crews evacuated the 162-unit complex as the fire alarm system sounded. Investigators have not determined a cause of the fire, but they do say it is not suspicious.
The owner of the building has recently invested to upgrade the fire alarm that is here. It worked as it should have, and it likely resulted in people evacuating and saving lives.
The Red Cross assisting right now about 14 residents from 8 displaced apartments. One firefighter suffered minor injuries, and medics treated one resident for smoke inhalation.
The Milwaukee Rescue Mission is expected to learn today if plans to open a facility in New Berlin can move forward. The proposed site is just off I-43 and Moreland Road in a business park. The New Berlin Plan Commission approved the land use last year, but a group is appealing the city's decision. Officials at the Rescue Mission say the location is away from homes, making it ideal.
We'll even hear people in the opposition say, hey, we got, this is needed, but just not here. Then the obvious response is, well, then where are you going to put it?
The Board of Appeals is expected to deliver a decision tonight.
It's a beautiful Tuesday, really, across our entire area.
Had a lot of sunshine recently, Mark, and that's going to continue.
Look at how nice that looks. Isn't that lovely? 67 degrees. We take you into Milwaukee. All right, 67 in Milwaukee. If you're inland, it is warmer. Looking out over the pilot house. Thanks, Q and the Seagull going on by. Just a lovely day. A little bit cool for some of you. One little sailboat hanging out on the water, and why not? Over the next 5 hours or so, if you're near the lake, certainly no worries about any kind of cloud cover. So we'll enjoy just comfortable conditions and maybe a little cool. You certainly don't need the air conditioner around here yet, but you definitely need the air conditioner in the forecast, because I'm talking about temperatures warming out of the 60s to the 70s to the 80s, maybe touching 90. We'll have that timing coming up in Weather Watch 12.
You can always stay ahead of any weather changes with the 12 News mobile app. Live radar and severe weather alerts can help you plan ahead. The annual dinner honoring the journalists who cover the White House now has a new date.
Yeah, it ended abruptly, the White House Correspondents' Dinner in April, when police opened fire on a man who breached security in a hallway one floor above where the president was on stage. Christopher Salas has the update from the White House.
The White House Correspondents' Dinner has been rescheduled for July 24th, and President Donald Trump says he's going to be in attendance. The president put on social media he's going because, quote, we cannot allow lunatics to change our way of life or even its scheduling. He also confirmed the new location. It'll be the Waldorf Astoria on Pennsylvania Avenue. Now, you'll remember the previous dinner was cut short when a gunman opened fire outside of the ballroom at the Washington Hilton back in April. President Trump and several members of his cabinet were in attendance, and they were rushed out of the room. There are still questions about April's event and security, including some major ones, like how Cole Allen Jr., who is now charged with attempted assassination of the president, was able to get into the building in the first place. In a letter to members, the Correspondents Association said this Correspondents' Dinner will be with enhanced safety measures, and it's going to have new access procedures. They said this dinner will be a more, quote, intimate gathering, though it's not clear what exactly that entails. In Washington, I'm Christopher Salas.
Cole Allen is charged in federal court accused of trying to assassinate the president. He pled not guilty.
Several Americans exposed to a rare strain of hantavirus aboard a cruise ship are beginning to leave federal quarantine. The CDC says 5 passengers have been released from a specialized quarantine unit in Nebraska. Health officials say the passengers are symptom-free and will now complete the remainder of a 6-week monitoring period at home. 13 passengers remain at the quarantine facility.
For the first time since the start of the war with Iran, Secretary of State Marco Rubio faced lawmakers and tough questions on Capitol Hill.
We remain the world's sole global superpower, the most powerful country on earth.
Rubio defended the Trump administration's efforts to negotiate a ceasefire. Lawmakers also voiced concern over the Ebola outbreak in Central Africa. They're worried cuts to foreign funding and aid hampered the initial response to fight the disease.
You're telling me we are as prepared or more prepared before the Trump administration came in? I'd like to see the facts.
I think when these reforms are finalized, which we're on the verge of doing, we're actually going to be better prepared. We are responding today faster, not just to humanitarian crisis, but to outbreaks than we were before.
After the U.S. pulled funding last year, Rubio confirmed today the State Department would re-engage with the Global Vaccine Alliance.
UW regents are expected to vote on a plan to raise tuition at UW campuses. Blake is here with what's coming up tonight at 5.
Yeah, that's right, Deanna. That meeting expected to happen Thursday of this week. How much of an increase college students could see as early as this fall. Plus, tonight we go inside Google's plan to release 32 million mosquitoes into the wild. The reason for the release, those stories and more at the top of the hour.
We'll see you soon, Blake. Thank you. In the meantime, social media company Meta unveiled safety features to protect teenagers.
It is the first policy change since the company lost a court battle over the addiction of its apps. ABC's Melissa Adon has a look at the new features.
Today, new safety changes on Instagram, Facebook, and Messenger teen accounts. Social media company Meta is expanding their 13+ content settings and limiting the amount of certain posts teens see about body image and mental health.
What we're seeing right now is essentially a PG-13 label that we know from movies being applied across Meta's platform. It's a small form of protection, but it's only one layer. We essentially might see teens get less exposure to content about nutrition, anxiety, weightlifting, for example.
Meta says while those topics can be helpful, it shouldn't dominate what teens see, adding it's their goal to help make sure teens are having positive, age-appropriate experiences on their apps.
Do you see these restrictions being helpful for teens and kids?
Especially if parents are really taking an active role in making sure they're setting those teen accounts up. They're setting those parental restrictions and making sure there's not excessive exposure to content that might influence a teen's solid sense of body image or might influence their habits.
The safety updates come after Meta's legal losses in 2 child safety cases, including in March when Meta was found liable for deliberately targeting kids with addictive social media design features. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A fire destroyed a Waukesha County brew house. Now, months later, the owners are preparing to reopen the doors.
Plus, the Stanley Cup just hours away on WISN at 12. How the battle on the ice is helping rescue dogs find a new home. Coverage of the Stanley Cup begins at 7 o'clock, and then we'll see you for 12 News at 10.
Watch WISN 12 newscasts live on our free Very Local app. Download the app right now, anywhere you stream.